Hey, what's up? I'm your host, Christian Patterson, here to bring you this week's edition of TV20's Inside Sports Report. After a terrific season in which the CMHA Renegades went undefeated in the Cleveland Muni Football League, as well as securing a trip to nationals and placing third in the country, the city of Cleveland invited them to City Hall for a special recognition ceremony.
Thank you guys for having us this evening. We really appreciate it. These young men have been dedicated to hard work since the 1st of April. We ask a lot. I ask a lot. I ask you to be a student before anything else, be a good son, and the football will take its place. Be an upstanding person in the community. These young men that you see standing before you have done that. It's not easy in a city it's tough. But if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, and I've always said that. And these young men, they're resilient. We have 6 young men that are going to go on to Catholic school to play football. Some are going to go to public schools to play football. But we've instilled some great values in our young men, and we expect greatness on the football field and off. So like I said again, I want to thank everyone, Phyllis Cleveland, Mayor Jackson. I thought I saw him in here, Michael Cox. I want to thank everybody that was involved. And right there. Okay, he's right there. And anybody else that I missed, I do apologize. But, you know, thank you for all the support that we got from home base. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Heading to Florida for the first time in team history, the Renegades had to overcome certain obstacles. They remained resilient, climbed the mountain, and returned home victorious.
They went down and placed third in the country in the league that had no weight limit. They played against guys that were bigger than them, stronger than them, but they wasn't tougher than them. And telling them that if you don't do anything else in the game of football, make sure that the other team respects you. And when we left Florida, everybody knew who the CMHA Renegades were. As I said, I thank y'all for that, and I'm proud of you.
The Renegades football organization was founded in 1986 to keep kids out of trouble and off the streets. But it didn't stop at just football. The coaches embody being mentors to these kids, as well as keeping them on track with their academics.
You got to be a student first. We really preach academics. That's why we had, I think, 23 honor roll or merit roll students this past season. We have about 6 or 7 kids that are going on to Catholic school on scholarship. So, you know, we really preach the academic piece.
The entire Renegade organization also had a meet and greet with Mayor Frank Jackson. They had a chance to chat with him about their trip to nationals, as well as take individual pictures. After their meet and greet with the mayor, Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland recognized them in front of the entire Cleveland City Council.
Again, this is just such a really, really special moment, a special season, special young people. Everything associated with this season has just been magical. And so I wanted to bring them down today to let everybody see what our young people can do in this city. And particularly, you know, young people, you know, who may not have much, but they have love and they have support. And they have people who are looking out for them. And Dwayne Browder was, you know, #1 in that regard. And so I'm just really, you know, full and just very, very pleased to be able to do this evening.
The Cavs started the season looking very impressive, going on a 13-game winning streak during mid-November to early December. Shortly after that, they took a step in a totally different direction, losing 13 of their next 20 games. The locker room seemed to be in disarray, and players were playing with their own agendas. Right before the trade deadline, heading into All-Star break, Cavs GM Kobe Altman was a very busy man. He traded away 6 players and 1 draft pick, and in return, we brought back 4 younger players and 1 draft pick. The Cavs are obviously playing to win a championship, so with the playoffs right around the corner, they're trying to get these young guys acclimated to their system.
They played hard for us. They compete, and then also they can also go out and score the basketball, shoot the basketball. So it's been a great fit so far. I think it has to start with our defense. I think now having a lot of the guys were the same size or similar size, like the OKC game. We had Clarkson, then we had Braun, Jeff Green, Hood, and Nance. We were able to switch a lot of things, and that's what we got to be, turn our defense into offense. And I think, if we're guarding the basketball, we're getting stops, getting turnovers, we can really get out and run because we have 4 guys on the floor at all times that can make a play.
Well, I'm just excited about what our potential can be on both sides of the floor. Defensively, we've been playing some really good ball the last few games, and we're going to try to continue that tomorrow night.
The new players have all played in the queue on an opposing team, but now they're looking forward to playing in front of these great fans as a Cavalier.
I've heard great things about it. The fans, how they different, how it's crazy in there. But, I felt it when, we used to come here with the Lakers. And, it's always intense. The vibe is always cool. So definitely when we used to come here, we used to strap them up and know that we was in for a good one. So definitely going to be a joy going out there playing in front of those fans for the first time.
Oh, I'm so excited. Even when I was with the Lakers, every year I looked forward to, coming back here and getting to play, under my dad's jersey in front of my family and stuff like that. And so tomorrow getting to do that for the first time of hopefully many, many times will be really exciting.
The NBA is no stranger to making changes to their league to improve the competitiveness and overall identity of the game. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver recently proposed the idea of changing the playoff format, reseeding the top 16 teams regardless of conference. And LeBron James, the current face of the league, doesn't think this change is needed.
I would disagree with that. I think our league has been built the right way as far as when it comes to the postseason. There's been dominant conferences throughout time. Obviously, in the 80s you had, it was a mismatch. So you had the Lakers who dominated the league at one point, and you had Boston who dominated the league. In the 90s you had Chicago who dominated the league. San Antonio has run. We had our run in the East with Miami. Golden State is having their run. So, it just changes the landscape of the history of the game. If you start messing with seedings of playoffs, then you start talking about, well, if this team would have played this Western Conference team, what he would have, so it's cool to mess around with an all-star game. We can, and we proved that you could do that, but let's not get too crazy about the playoffs. You have Eastern Conference, you have Western Conference, and you have Eastern Conference champions. You have guys that win the championship from the Eastern Conference who wins the big dance, and then sometimes you have them from the West as well.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more of TV20's Inside Sports Report.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to TV20's Inside Sports Report. I'm your host, Christian Patterson. It's been nearly 5 months since the Cleveland Indians have taken the field for meaningful baseball. But the Tribe is back in action in Goodyear, Arizona for spring training, and fans are locked in. Pretty much everyone from the 2017 roster is returning to the club. Indians manager Terry Francona recently spoke about the players that are recovering from injury.
Danny's at 90 feet, but feeling, I think, going in the right direction. So if he does that for a couple days, then the next thing will be back to maybe throwing off the mound, which I don't think we're too far away from that. So that's good. Brantley's doing terrific. Where he's the point where he's getting a little antsy and bugging everybody, which I figure is really good. You know, rather than put a date on it, because I don't think that does anybody any good, and I don't think it's fair to Michael. Because, you know, if you spend 5 seconds around him, you know how hard he works. So he's going to be ready when he's ready. I do think the good part of this is that when he's ready, hopefully he can stay ready.
Geyer?
He is back on his hitting progression today. You know, he just lately, I mean, up till now, it's been dry swings and tee work. So there's going to have to be a progression.
With spring training coming at the Tribe quick because of their postseason run, Terry Francona is anxious to get the season started, but he knows how important spring training is.
It's different. Like this year, things are a little quicker this year because of the, you know, so it got on us in a hurry, the games. But spring training usually has its own timeline. Whoever 100 years ago figured it out pretty well, in my opinion. And, you know, we try to space the guys that we know are our everyday guys. We don't play them every day early on. We know they're not going to find their timing right away. That's why usually you see the guys that are swinging the bat the best are the guys competing for spots because they're getting consistent at bats. If we wanted our guys to find their timing, we'd play them more. But you do it because you want them to try to find it as the spring goes. You know what? It's really, like I said, whoever figured this out was pretty smart. I know some people say it's too long. I don't think so. I think they got it nailed just about right.
For pitchers especially.
Especially for pitchers. Any shorter than that it wouldn't be any good for pitchers.
Did the games come up too fast? Did you?
I thought they did, yeah.
What kind of problems does that cause, if any?
What's that?
The games coming up.
Well, I mean, weren't able to put all our fundamentals in before we played. So the new guys don't even know the bunt plays, and you know, you're asking them to make a team, and not that somebody's bunting the first, but I mean, our first and third plays, I mean, those things were barely put in before game starts. That's, you know, it's not necessarily good for anybody.
Have you seen that affect the play on the field?
Not really. The guys show up in really good shape, and we played them a little shorter than we normally would, but no, they're okay.
If you're excited for the Indians' regular season to begin, hurry up and get your tickets fast. The home opener at Progressive Field has already sold out. Thanks for watching the Inside Sports Report. Make sure you continue to tune in each and every week for an inside scoop on our Cleveland sports scene.